Man, what's up? What's happening? You already know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Nephew Q. And this everybody's favorite show, favorite day of the week is Beyond the Game Monday. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. But enough about me. Go and introduce yourself one time for the one time, Ralph, for the people who don't know you.
What's up, world? I wanted to say my Broncos is 5-0, but we took two tough losses, so
Did y'all?
here I am.
Did y'all?
Here I am.
I know my squad only took one L this week. I mean one L this season so far, but I mean it
Man, we
it,
shall bounce back.
Okay, but
Yes.
anyways, before we man go on with the proceedings, we got another guy who's about to hop on here. You know, he's a
Okay.
friend of the show. He's always in the Beyond the Game group, trolling, talking mad cash ish. Man, he gets on my last damn nerve, my last nerve. But it's a big game coming up for his squad this week, so I invited him on the show. So
Uh-oh.
let's introduce my guy Drew on the build in the build, man. What's going on with you, Drew?
What's up, fellas?
What's
Hey,
up,
there
Drew?
is Lexington. There is a bad wreck on New Circle Road, just past Tate's Creek. If you're going towards Alumni, that's why I'm a little late. So just be warned,
Hey,
Lex.
hey, man. You know we got you in the build, so don't even much worry about it, man. As we got man, I can't even get into the topics. You got talking about Kentucky balling this year,
They
man.
are, man.
They
Speaking
coming for me
of
today.
Speaking of those UK Wildcats, I will officially call them by that what their name is today. No slander for the UK Wildcats as they what 6-0 Ralph 5-0.
That's not my squad, but they are 6-0.
Okay, Ralph's UK Wildcats are 6-0 after huge back-to-back victories over upset over Den number 10 Florida, and then following it up with a huge beatdown over LSU this past weekend. They got a big huge game against University of Georgia at Georgia this weekend. So Ralph, for your UK
You
Wildcats
gotta stop it. I can't take the credit, bro. I'm not a UK football fan. I can't take his credit for this 6-0 start.
on a scale of what's happening with you, my brother Mark, uh, on a scale from 1 to 100, what percentage do you give UK to pull off the upset and beat Georgia? Ralph, go ahead.
50.
50%. Man, this guy here. Why you give him 50%?
I just think that I don't believe in Georgia's offense, but I love Georgia's defense. And I feel like UK has a really good defense also. So um, I think that Georgia will find a way to pull it out. I don't think that Georgia's going to blow UK out. I do think that they win the game, but I think UK has a 50% chance of winning this game. I don't know if I want to call the upset, but I do think the UK has a really good chance of winning this game.
Man, listen, let me get to some of these. Hold on real quick, man. Adam Kent, he said, "Cue that shirt a lot better than that Creole." But let me tell you something, Adam Kent. Don't get it confused today. This is not a UK Wildcat shirt. This is a Lexington shirt, as you can tell with the head. I'm repping Lexington, Kentucky. Don't get it
Oh,
confused.
is that
Don't
what it
get it
is?
confused. Don't do not get it confused, man. And then Corey said, quit chipping and bring me on. So, hey, man, all you got to do is hit my inbox. Hey, look, Beyond the Game is a show for the people. Hey, all you got to do,
Absolutely.
hit me up. Say, hey, Q, can I come on through, man? We'll, get on here, debate so you can be wrong as usual, like the rest of these dudes. Adam Kent says 17-13 catch. You mean to tell me, Adam, you think y'all can hold Georgia to 13 points?
Georgia's offense is not that good, Q. That's why I said 50%, man. It's
They
not that good.
it may not be that good, but you mean to tell me y'all gonna hold them to 13 points?
Hey, man, I didn't say it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, all right. And then Adam Kidd, he said, "Yes, sir, man. Adam, man, if I was a betting man, I ain't a betting man because I ain't got no money to lose. Shout out to Southport. But if I was a betting man, I would take you up on that bet, Adam. But Drew, who's a U of L fan, what percentage
Yep.
would you give UK to pull off the upset?
Man, I'm gonna be real honest. I give them about 25% chance, which is
Man, y'all
more than Vegas
tripping,
is giving
bro.
them for the spread.
Y'all tripping.
Uh, UK got a good defense, man. I'll give them that. They got a real good defense. I don't believe in their offense outside of Wandale Robinson, but I will tell you, man, that kid is special. Uh,
Special.
special. And that was a big get for UK to go back and get him to come back. But yeah, I'm going to give him about 25% chance, which I said a little bit more than the spread's giving them right now.
Hey, Mike Riley said, "Go ahead and hate Drew."
He
I know. I
knows.
thought he was gonna say something worse. I really did.
Hey, he gonna call me after the show talking about that wasn't even bad.
But hey, Mike, man, you know we go back to Bryan Station Middle School. Shout out, appreciate you for tuning in today. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give UK a damn 10% chance to win this game.
Come
UK
on,
ain't got
come
a
on,
chance
Q.
in hell to winning this game. Drew, what'd you say the spread was, my guy?
It's 23.5 when I looked at it this afternoon.
Based on what?
Man,
This
I
high-powered
was
offense
shocked.
from Georgia?
I
Come
was
on,
shocked.
man. Based off what?
I was shocked. I don't know. That's on ESPN. That's where I got it from.
I
Because
seen it.
they know what Q know. That's what it is. They know what Q know, and they know that UK ain't got a chance. Now, I put it to you like this: if UK football was playing here, if it was a home game, I give UK a 13% chance. But since they playing in Athens,
I swear, bro.
it's a 10% chance they pull off the big upset, man. I
Oh
just
my god.
like Drew alluded to, man. The UK's defense, I give them props for that. UK's defense is nice this year. Wandale Robinson, man, if without that kid, I don't know where
I
UK
know.
would be this season.
Trouble.
UK looks like they actually have a legit quarterback this season, like a real legit quarterback. So it's like no, it's not like UK is some slouches. Like it's not like UK is crap like any other normal UK season. But you playing against Georgia, okay, all right, and for all of y'all who are saying bring on Bama, let's see if y'all can get through Georgia this weekend first before y'all start screaming and stretching.
Yeah, I think
Bring
they
on
tooting
Bama.
that horn just a little bit too much. Yeah, I don't know about Bama yet. Bama did take a tough loss, but I don't know about it yet.
Man,
Nah, not yet.
UK has
Not yet.
one UK has one good season. I ain't gonna say one. UK has a great season this year, and then all UK fans' expectations is gone through the roof. They acting like how U of L fans act when they have a good season. Like
Talk and
Hey,
talk,
chill
Q.
out now. Chill out.
Talk and
I mean,
talk,
I'm just
Q.
saying, like,
Chill
act like
out.
all I'm saying is act like you've been here before. That's all I'm saying. You don't see University of Alabama saying bring on UK. They don't care about no UK Wildcats, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that.
So you know what I'm saying? It's so I give UK a 10%. Ralph gives them 50%.
Absolutely.
Drew gives them a 25% chance, man. But anyways, keeping on with the theme of the show, let's talk about Drew's guy. Drew's guy, Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving has been in the news, it seems like damn near for the whole year, pretty much, about vaccination, not playing, taking a leave of absence from the team, just out here, just I don't know what Kyrie's doing, but Kyrie's doing what Kyrie do. But anyways, I'm gonna throw this over to Ralph first, man. What should the Nets do with Kyrie Irving?
Honestly, I don't know, my brother. It's hard for me to say get rid of him because I think he's one of the pieces that if they do win a championship, he'll have to be one of those guys to help them get that. I don't know who you trade him for. You just don't want anybody back for Kyrie. No, he's not good enough. Nobody wants him. So I don't know who you trade him for if you were to trade him. So it's a tough call with this one. I think the Nets are going to wait it out, see how it plays out, and go from there. Kyrie's just too big of a talent to let go, especially for nothing. So I think you just go one day at a time, one game at a time, and then at some point you might have to make a tough decision, but that time isn't now.
Man, while Drew get himself together, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on in here about this Kyrie thing about what should they do. Absolutely nothing. And the reason why I say they should do absolutely nothing with Kyrie is because he's in the final year of his contract. If they have plans on re-signing Kyrie, then I say just leave well enough alone. Let him do whatever he got to do, make whatever decision he got to make. If you plan on re-signing him, but if you don't have any plans to have him in your future, then I feel like you got to move on for Kyrie right now because first of all, you don't know what kind of effect this is going to have on the team in general. Mainly James Harden. Like, does James Harden want to play in that drama-filled environment with Kyrie and his mood swings and things of that nature that he does? So you got to, if I'm the Nets GM, I got to take that into consideration as well. But the whole Ben Simmons trade for Kyrie, I really don't like it because to me, it doesn't make the 76ers better. I mean, the
No.
Brooklyn Nets are going to be good with or without Kyrie. So, I mean, it really doesn't You know what I'm saying? That really doesn't do anything for real. As Reginald Brown says, they need to keep Kyrie. And that's why I said, like, if they plan
Yeah.
on re-signing Kyrie, then you just let him play half the season or whatever the case may be that he's doing, and you try to work it out and, you know what I'm saying, re-sign him back in the offseason. But if you don't have any plans of keeping him in the future, you got to see what you can get for Kyrie, because at this point, he's just a distraction to your team, because after every game, they're going to ask KD, James Harden, Steve Nash, when do you think Kyrie's going to get vaccinated? Do you think he's going to get vaccinated? Like, they don't want to hear that all
Oh my
season long.
God.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think they should do with Kyrie. But Drew, what should the Nets do with Kyrie Irving?
Man, let me start this. Let me send a message to my boy Kyrie real quick, dog.
Okay.
Kyrie, I have rode with you, and I have rode with you. I have taken all this crap ever since you said you didn't want to play with Braun no more. My dog, please do it for yourself, do it for your teammates, do it for your family, and do it for humanity. Dog, get the damn shot. Come on. Look, we got something special brewing in Brooklyn this year.
Hold on, Drew.
Can't be special without you.
Hold on, Drew. Not to cut you out. What is this we shit? Where does we come from?
Hey, man. You
He's
know
on the
I'm
roster
Oklahoma
too. You
State
ain't know.
Nets till I die.
Okay. All right, go ahead, continue on.
But look, I feel both sides of it at this point. Like, man, if you're only going to be there half the year, then I don't want you at all. If you're only going to be half in, I don't need you on this team. You ain't going to be nothing but a distraction. Just go on and retire, bro. If that's what you want to do, if you that hard up on this stance with whatever it is you feeding into, not about not getting the vaccine. Now, look, I will say I respect everyone's decision. It is a personal decision, but those personal decisions come with consequences, man. Mm-hmm. Just like there's a lot of people in this world, as Vance Wade so eloquently put, a lot of nurses that can't keep their job without this shot. So you know this going into the profession that you're in. Do what you got to do, man, or find a new profession.
Man, I'm shocked to hear you here. I'm shocked to hear you say this, but before I bring this guest on, well, not guest, before I bring this guy onto the show, this is what I will say about Kyrie. In the defense of Kyrie, I don't like how they're trying to make him the poster child for not getting a vaccination. I don't like the agenda that they're doing with that, whether it's on Undisputed, First Take, whatever. Like, I think that for real, it's none of their business if he gets vaccinated or not. Now, I know it does correlate with sports because he can't play in the city of New York City or in San Francisco if it comes to that without the shot. But I feel like the mainstream media is trying to apply pressure to Kyrie to get vaccinated, and I don't like that part of what they're trying to do to Kyrie. But anyways, let me bring this guy onto the show real quick. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. B Legend, what's happening with you, big homie?
My God.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Patty mayonnaise.
My boy.
He got
Hey, Ralph. How you doing, Ralph?
What's up, Legend? Yes, sir.
I ain't heard from you.
Man. So B, you know, as you jumped into the conversation, we was talking about Kyrie. What should the Brooklyn Nets do with Kyrie? What's your thoughts, man?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's too much they can do with him. I mean, they could trade him if they want to trade him, but they ain't gonna do that because they want to piss KD off. Mm-hmm. So therefore, the craziest thing about it is that I feel like personally that Kyrie is somewhat holding them somewhat hostage, as crazy as it sounds, because you need this guy to compete. You know, they're gonna compete regardless. I mean, with James Harden, with KD, they're gonna repeat. I mean, not repeat, but compete regardless. But the point is, you want Kyrie. They want Kyrie there, but Kyrie's got his stance. Kyrie wants to do what Kyrie wants to do, and I get it. I mean, that's your choice. But all I'm saying at the end of the day, I mean, you were trying to say that the media is acting a certain type of way. But reality is what on this Q? I mean, this is a really, really big thing. I mean,
it is.
You know, this guy is going to be forfeiting, what is it, $300,000 a game?
A lot of money.
You know, because he don't want to play. I mean, from the Nets perspective, that's fine. If you, I ain't got to pay you. I'll put the money, just like we're gonna do exactly what Ben Simmons, what Philly did Ben Simmons. We're gonna take that money. We're gonna put it in escrow, and we just ain't gonna pay you. I mean, if that's what it comes down to. Now, Kyrie, are you willing to lose that type of money? If you're willing to lose that type of money, that's fine. Now, from the Nets' perspective, now you got to think big picture. You got James Harden, who's not going to sign his deal. He's not going to sign his deal until next year because it's just smart business sense because it makes money. But at the same time, he's an unrestricted free agent. So the question becomes, let's just say that everything stays status quo and Kyrie just plays home games. Let's say that the Nets go to the finals or the Nets don't go to the finals, but the bottom line is they lose because of Kyrie. He's one of the reasons, or they could have potentially won if they had Kyrie. Is Brooklyn going to keep him on? Do you need to trade him at that point in time?
Absolutely.
If I'm James Harden, am I going to come to New York to go to the Nets and give them an ultimatum and say, hey, you better figure out what you're going to do with Kyrie or I'm walking? So there's a lot of moving pieces in this thing other than just the fact of, well, he just needs to get the vaccination. I'm not going to tell a man what he needs to do. That's his body. If he chooses not to do it, that's on him. The league rules are what they are. I mean, I have an issue with the whole thing of how, they just force you that, they literally are just going to force you to do something.
That's what Wiggins said.
And at the end of the day, hey, it's their league. They put down the rules. If you want to play, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yep.
I mean, so you're either going to abide by it or not. Either you play or you don't. Well, if you retire, if you trade me, I'm going to retire. Well, we got to do what's best for our organization. We can't worry about whether you're going to retire or not.
Nope.
Right? So
who's going to trade for him, though? I don't see anybody
nobody's going to
trade
trade
for him.
I mean, that's what I mean. Kyrie's basically putting them at a disadvantage. With
Ben Simmons,
he's going to end up pissing KD and pissing James Harden and pissing other teammates off. Because how are you going to build chemistry? Okay, you can practice now because all of a sudden now the practice facility is a private.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Right? So now you can practice. But, when you're on that long road trip and you can't you can't build continuity, how's that helping the team? That's not helping the team. But, that's his choice.
But
I've just seen his screen, Dave. Hell no.
This is what I mean. You're talking about Westbrook for MVP. But this is what I was saying about the Kyrie as far as mainstream media. When they asked LeBron about being vaccinated, because I don't know if y'all remember, he said he wasn't sure about getting the shot. And they just left him alone. They didn't try to, do this whole campaign about, LeBron is the face of the NBA. He should be good. They left him alone. But I feel like for some odd reason with Kyrie, it's like an everyday topic of if he or isn't he gonna get the vaccination. And I feel like I don't like that part about what they're trying to do to Kyrie, because it's like they're trying to apply pressure to make him from the NBA and from mainstream media to go ahead and do it to help the Nets. Go ahead, Ralph.
I just felt like they eventually thought that he would budge, and I think they forgot what type of animal that they're dealing with in Kyrie. Kyrie's not budging until Kyrie's ready to budge. It's that simple. He doesn't care what fine y'all put up, what mandate y'all put up. Kyrie's not budging until Kyrie's. And I don't feel like this is the first time that Kyrie has held a team hostage. This is kind of in his MO a little bit if you look at Kyrie's history. So I honestly just don't know what the Nets do, man. They have to play it out. Let's see what happens. But it looks like eventually they may have to let him go, which really sucks because I feel like the Nets cannot win the championship without Kyrie.
I'm right there with you.
I got a question for y'all.
Hold on. It's from BJ Sizemore. Let me get his in real quick before I let Drew. He said it's not a league rule, it's a New York rule.
Correct.
B was talking about as far as like the NBA rules is if you don't play because you're not vaccinated, this is the ramifications that come with. You can not play. They all fine with you not playing, but this is what the consequences are.
No, but you can. But you're missing something on this though, Q. Because the only reason why this is relevant in these two, it's relevant in New York and it's relevant in California. All the other states as we speak today, you don't have to have a vaccination to play.
No.
You can play. It's just that they're gonna make your life a living hell because they're basically going to ostracize you from the team, do certain types of things, etc.
Make you an example.
I don't know if it's making you an example. I just think they got to figure out, and I'm not supporting. I'm just stating the facts. They have to figure out how to make sure that their league is going to run. If you are not going to go get vaccinated, okay, and you have the potential, everybody's got the potential to catch it, but but you have the potential to get it and then spread it to other people. I guess that's what they think, or however you want to look at that. But they're gonna say, well, wait a minute, we're not gonna jeopardize this team. We're not gonna jeopardize the team that you're playing or any of these other people because you choose not to do it. Now we can't stop you because contractually you're able to play. So what we can do is basically just say, okay, when you come in, you gotta sit over here. You can't eat with the team. You can't do this. You can't do that. But we can't stop you from playing. But in New York and in California, these are just rules. These are state rules, and these teams are within these states. If LeBron chose not to take that shot and he was sitting in LA, he would be under the same scrutiny as Russell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Drew. Go ahead. Your final thoughts before we go to the next topic. Go ahead, Drew. Can you hear me? Can you not?
But I just really, number one, I really just wanted to ask, or first of all, I wanted to state that, man, it is stupid that they're going to let him practice and not play. That's just retarded. But B, how long do y'all think before KD finally says enough's enough?
I don't think he says it, only because I don't think he's built like that. Like, he's just like, to me, KD just seems like a easygoing, go with the flow type of guy. And it's like, I feel like he's like, man, that's y'all organization decision. Y'all do what y'all want to do, man. I'm trying to hoop. But if it does ultimately come to where it causes a rift between KD and Kyrie because Kyrie doesn't want to get vaccinated, I think KD will stand up and say something. Maybe not to Kyrie, but to the organization. Like, hey, look, man, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. Kyrie's my boy, it's my best friend, but I understand y'all got to do what y'all got to do. I just want to play ball. Y'all run some decisions by me. We'll get together and see what the best possibility is. That's my thoughts on it. Ralph, what y'all think?
Honestly, I think it may not be KD. It may be James is the one that stands up and says something. I know KD is probably the leader of this team, but James has power in that organization too, man. James Harden is a superstar in this league, so he may be the person that steps up and says something about it. So
you know what?
They mortgage their young stars for him too.
You know what, Ralph? I agree with you on. I feel like James Harden is definitely more vocal than KD, and probably and he has no relationship with Kyrie, so he don't really care. Well, as far as I know, he don't have no real close bond with Kyrie, so he won't have no problem. Like, look, man, Buddy messing this up for us, man. Like, we got to figure out if y'all want me to resign, we got to figure out what's going on with this situation.
Man.
I mean, I just think that, real simply, Kyrie, as we all know, he's a diva. So
absolutely, man.
So I don't think, even if either one of those two guys have something to say, Harden or KD, I don't think it'll be public. I think it'll be behind the scenes. Because if it comes public, the entire Kyrie turns into this whole different thing. Then we got a whole other issue on our hands.
If it becomes public, God,
I don't want my teammates don't want me here and all this other stuff. And if it is something that's said, it'll be said privately, and I don't, it'll be hard, for the media to get a hold of it. Not saying that they won't, but I think
it would be a conversation between Sean Marks, the Nets GM, KD, and James Harden sitting in the office, and they hash out, okay, look, KD, Kyrie better than both of us do. What are your thoughts? How can we handle this situation? And they can basically just feed off of what KD's saying. And if KD's not, not too fond of what Kyrie's doing, then they're gonna get homeboy up out of there. Because like I said, it's KD's team. But anyways, moving on to a little NFL action. One of B Legend's sons took another L last night to Drew's homeboy, Josh Allen. By the way, if it's your first time tuning in, Drew is a huge Josh Allen fan.
No, I am not.
He loves that dude. But Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs took another L on the chin last night. And to me, it wasn't even close. So has the NFL, I'm going to let B cook last on this one, has the NFL figured out Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs? Ralph, go ahead.
Shout out to the Buccaneers.
Shout out to the Bay.
I think that partly they have. I don't think they fully figured it out. They have been, the Chiefs have been shaky over the first 5 weeks of the season, but I don't think they fully figured them out. One of the key things with the Chiefs' offense is taking Tyreek out of the game. It's that simple. Take him out of the game and let everybody else beat you, and that's what a lot of people have been doing against them who've had success. So. I don't think they fully figured them out. I think the Chiefs are still going to find a way to bounce back. They still have Pat Mahomes back there. I just don't believe that the Chiefs are just going to completely fall off. But are they in trouble as far as Making it back to the Super Bowl, absolutely. As far as being advancing in the playoffs, absolutely. I said this at the beginning of the season. I'll continue to say it. No hate on the Chiefs. I just feel like overall their defense is terrible right now. They've been bad, and I don't think that Patrick Mahomes can overcome what the hole that the Chiefs defense is going to put them in every game. So I don't think they've been figured out, but they have found a way to stop them.
Damn all that. They done figured him out. Thank you, Todd Bowles, and that defense. Y'all done found the blueprint. But the only thing is that you have to have the players to, roll out the blueprint. Like you can put the scheme in all you want to, but if you ain't got the dogs and the monsters to do it, and basically what they do is to allude to what Ralph was saying, is they rush 3 or 4, depending on what defense you play. They rush 3 or 4, hope to get to your quarterback, drop everybody else in cover 2, say we'll give you everything 10 and up. Beat us that way. If you want to go on an 80, 70-yard drive, have at it. But we don't believe you gonna do it. And we're gonna rush 3 or 4, get Pat Mahomes moving around a little bit and see what we can do. As far as are the Chiefs in trouble? Hell yeah, they're in trouble. Are they in trouble to make the playoffs? No, they still gonna make the playoffs. I still believe they'll make the playoffs. But as far as being a Super Bowl contender, which we try to tell be legend, but he don't want to listen to nobody, they are not going back to the Super Bowl. And this is the prime example as to why, because their defense is even worse than Tampa Bay's defense right now. And that's saying a lot because our defense our secondary is trash right now. But so yeah, the Chiefs are definitely in trouble. They're not going back to the Super Bowl, and I do think the NFL has figured out how to slow down Pat Mahomes. It's up to Andy Reid to put some new wrinkles in this offense to give the NFL something else to look at. Drew, what's your thought?
Well, man, I told y'all in the preseason show I didn't think the Chiefs was going back to the Super Bowl. Did I see this? No. Their defense, the injuries along their defensive line have really taken a toll. Before everybody gets all hyped up about Josh Allen's performance, don't forget Jalen Hurts the week before threw 350 yards and 3 touchdowns on them too.
We're talking about the Chiefs.
Been struggling. It's just the Bills have the defense on the other side to actually slow Mahomes down. Whereas, I'm not even going to speak on my defense right now. But yeah, I not to miss the playoffs because they added that 7th team this year. I think they'll still get in the playoffs. But I think they definitely need to run the ball more. They ran the ball in the Eagles game. They didn't really run the ball last night. They got to get a running game going back there to ease and make it all not be on Mahomes. Because as we're starting to see, I mean, he's good, man. One of the greatest young quarterbacks in the game. But he's still just one position on a 52-man team.
He's decent. I've seen better. I seen a guy in Tampa that's doing way more than what Pat Mahomes is doing. But hey, that's neither here nor there at this point.
Somebody told me today that if you take away Andy Reid, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, that he's Aaron Rodgers.
They're basically the same guy. I mean, but he's a B legend son. So B, go ahead. The floor is yours. Talk about your son, man. Has the NFL figured him out?
Well, I don't necessarily know if they figured him out. I think they figured out that. Personally, I think they figured the Chiefs out. I think to your point, it's a cover 2, rush 4 or 5, drop everybody back, and you're going to methodically have to drive down the field and get 5, 10 yards, a play. And what's that going to do? That's going to eat up clock. That's going to slow you down. The problem is, are the Chiefs willing to do that? Are they going to be able to, stand that, or are they just going to have to just take that urge and just try to throw the football? Are they going to run the ball, or are they going to abandon the run? Well, they're built on passing the ball. So that's going to be a challenge for them. I think at this point right now, I think that they are in trouble. There's no question that they're in trouble. I think will they make the playoffs? Yeah. I mean, if you go and look at the schedule, they're gonna play. They play the Giants. They play the Cowboys. They play Washington. That's
3 wins.
They play the Broncos twice. That's another 2 wins.
That's 5 wins.
They play the Packers. They play the brothers. So I don't know how that's gonna turn out.
That's a push.
That's a push. They're gonna beat the Raiders. They're gonna lose to the Chargers at SoFi.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens with the Steelers, if they come back, because Big Ben is terrible. But defensively, they may be able to deal with them. But they play them at home. That they could win or lose that game. The Bengals going to be interesting, but they should win that game. So they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna go in. If anything, they're gonna go in as a wild card if they make it. But I don't know, man. This is going to be a real challenge for Andy Reid. I think he's smart with the number of schemes and the number of things that they present. The facades that they paint, the motions that they present, stuff like that, to try to get these guys free. But I think one of the things, I'm going to say this right now. One of the things, I don't even know if this is going to hold up, but if it does, one of the things that could potentially help them, if he could stay healthy and if he can stay off the whatever he's on, is Josh Gordon. Because now you got this 6'4", 6'5" guy on the other side of the field. That's another guy you got to deal with. So if you're worried about Tyreek and this guy can really play and he gets back to the level that he can play with, now that opens up a whole nother dynamic there, because you got to deal with both of those guys. Now they're able to work the middle with Kelsey and get back to the normal thing. But right now, they take Tyreek out, they take Kelsey out. The running back's hurt now, so I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I mean, it'll be interesting to see.
Continue to take these L's.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But to be honest, are they in trouble? Absolutely. If you are a football person, you know that they are in trouble. There's no question about that.
So you mentioned Josh Gordon, that whole aspect. Real quick, B, like, what do you expect from Josh Gordon? He's 30 years old. He's been in and out of the league for since 2017?
Yeah, since we can remember.
So what can he get? Like, what do you expect Josh Gordon to give you that will help take pressure off of Kelsey and Tyreek Hill?
Well, what do I expect for him to give me? I don't expect for him to give me nothing. I mean, he's shown that he'll be there for a couple of weeks and then something will happen. He'll go get on the weed or whatever he's on, and then he's back out the door. If he can be consistent and get back to just playing regular football, he's a potential threat. Now, but what do I really, really honestly think I can potentially get from him? It's going to all depend on him and where he is football-wise, where he is shape-wise, what his commitment level to it, and if he can stay off the drugs that he's been on, just being
off the damn weed.
But otherwise, other than that, reality is what? I mean, let's be honest. You would be fooling yourself if you had a very, very high expectation with Josh Gordon. You set it low. If he exceeds it, great. For him as an individual, I hope that he does. But I don't have much. I don't have much expectations.
Real quick before we go to the next topic, B, I want to get your thoughts on this. If let's just say for the sake of argument, he does stay clean, he's healthy, over under 500 receiving yards for Josh Gordon the rest of the season.
Over.
What about you, Ralph? He's totally clean. He stays healthy for the rest of the season. Over, under.
I like Josh Gordon back in the day, so I'm going to say over also.
Oh, what about you, Drew?
Is Missouri recreational legal or not? No, over. If it's not, over.
You just got to think about that, though, Q. I mean, you got to think about the type of team that you're talking about. So, you're talking about a situation where you've got guys. You got Kelsey, you got Tyreek, you got a passing offense. So I mean, hell, it's not going to take much for him.
Right.
That's
why.
The reason why I asked though is because he's 30. Like, we don't know what he has though. Like, is he just a receiver at this time?
But you said if he was fully healthy.
That guy that you support is 44.
But my guy,
he's an anomaly.
44.
I'm just saying.
He ain't running routes though. He ain't moving a lot.
I'm just saying. Let's just take the age out of it.
My guy.
Tom said don't compare him to that.
I'm not talking about the age. I'm just talking about the age.
But see, the thing is, Josh Gordon plays a position where he has to exude a lot of energy and he has to have a lot of body, be in shape. Tom Brady ain't got to be in the best of shape. He has to move 3 inches to the left, 3 inches to the right.
That's true. But considering the fact that, and here's my last point on that, very true point. But considering the fact that he has not played consistently over probably the last 3, 4, 5 years, that saved his body too.
That's true. That's right.
So, it just depends on where he is physically.
His lungs might not be the best though.
Huh?
His lungs might not be the best though.
He may not. I mean, they may not, and that's what I'm saying. It just depends on where he is physically and what he can really give you. I mean, but if he's a guy that can open up the other side of the field, that could potentially cause issues. It's going to be up to Andy Reid to figure out how he can get these guys involved and how he. And I'm really, really intrigued to see it because right now, if you just look at that whole defensive scheme on how Tampa and all these other teams that have beat them and played them, there's nothing there for Tyreek. And you'll be a fool. Anybody will be a fool to do anything different.
Right.
When you play.
We tried. You seen what happened?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No,
Well, he went for damn near 200 yards and 3 touchdowns on us. We tried covering him one-on-one a couple times.
Don't feel bad, Drew. We did that too at the beginning of the last season. He ate us up for almost 200 yards at halftime. We learned our lesson.
Hey, on Josh Gordon, though, if he still got that take the top off your defense speed, that's trouble. If you still got that speed, that's
it definitely
trouble.
is.
It is. But moving on to a little NBA action because we want to talk about Drew's Lakers and everything, and we want to talk about Ralph's Clippers. So we want to get into a little NBA prediction. So we gonna start off with something really simple before we move on to the heavy-hitter topic of as far as the NBA. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick this thing off with my sleeper team for the NBA. I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat with the addition of Kyle Lowry, even though Kyle Lowry is 40 years old and probably weighs 320, but I do feel like he's an upgrade over Coach Dragon. I feel like he's an upgrade over the Dragon. If they can get something, just anything out of Ralph Boy Tyler Hero this season, I think they are primed to be at least a top 3 seed in the East. Of course, it's gonna go Nets, Bucks, however you want to do it back and forth. But the Miami Heat are my sleeper team. I think Bam continues on the arc that he's going on. Jimmy Butler's gonna do what Jimmy Butler thinks, so we ain't got to worry about him. And with that combination of Kyle, Jimmy Butler, and Bam, you mixing it with a little Tyler Hero, and then we got Duncan Robinson. If he can come off the bench and do what he do, I think they're sleeper teams are poised to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But Ralph, what you think, man? Who you got? Who your sleeper squad?
If you just give me one right now, and I stay in the East with you, and I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm. That's what William Sweat said. He said the Heat are the Bulls. Drew, who you got? He said,
are we talking about like sleeper to make the playoffs, sleeper to contend for a title?
Sleeper to contend for a title.
Sleeper to contend for a title. Man, I really like the Bulls, but I don't think they're title ready yet. They're young. They're gonna be flashy. They're gonna be fun to watch. They should be in the playoffs.
Too young, bro.
Yeah, I guess with DeRozan, they put some age on him. I guess Lonzo's been in the league for a few years, but overall, as far as their core, Levine, I still see him as a young dude. But yeah, they should take the next step. Now, as far as contend for the title, I mean, really, outside of the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks.
Take the Clippers out. Don't even put them. Yeah, don't even do that to yourself.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that no more, Drew. We're not doing that.
Okay. All right. Well,
I took the bullet for that one. I already took the bullet.
Maybe the Bucks. I don't even think the Bucks will make it back to the conference finals. Yeah, the Bulls, I guess, is who I go with.
But before we continue with B Legend's thoughts, let me get to this boy Chris Jones and his thoughts. His boy said anybody with UK players in their rotation is a legit threat to win it all.
Hey, Chris Jones for the win, man. Every time.
Man, Chris Jones hangs out with Josh Gordon in the offseason, man. So we'll just leave it right there. But
that pre-workout, man, I'm telling you, I was getting to his head. When you switch up.
Yeah,
who you got as your sleeper team that could be a title contender?
I don't really call it a sleeper team, though, but
he said ignore him sometimes, like now.
I don't really call it a sleeper team, but they just flying under the radar, and they really shouldn't fly under the radar, and that's Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's true. I like that.
Once Trey come, not Trey,
Clay.
Once he comes back, I mean, they're full throttle. I mean, you gotta get James Wiseman back. I mean, they're long, you know, but it's just them boys.
They got Draymond Green.
No, wait.
This guy, you got too happy when you said.
Hey man, Draymond might not be there the way he keep acting.
You know, and the one thing I'm saying, and I'm gonna say this, is that you got to pay attention to Golden State because Golden State has the assets to make a trade. You know, by the trade deadline, and that's why I'm saying If you want to talk about that thing, now who they will go get, I have no idea. I'm just saying
Kyrie.
they're a dangerous team.
I know who they'll trade. Andrew Wiggins.
They're gonna trade Wiggins. They're gonna trade Wiseman. They're gonna trade picks.
They need to trade Green. Send him on up out
Wiggins, Draymond, and some picks, and they're
throw
probably get
some
something
stuff
back.
together. So they've got
For
the
Kyrie.
assets. They got the assets to make something happen. So that would be my sleeper team.
So instead of a sleeper team, let's go on right to the heavy hitter, the MVP of the upcoming season. I already know where Drew gonna go with this one, so I'm gonna let him rock first. Who you got as an NBA MVP? And I kind of already know where you're gonna go, but go ahead, man.
I ain't mad at you.
You think you know, but you have no idea. Kyrie or no, I'm just playing.
I was gonna say
We
what?
have to be there hard enough. I really like Harden for MVP, honestly. I'm gonna put a big point out there. You know, him and Giannis got their little thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis got that title. Now on opening night, Harden got to sit there and watch Giannis get that ring.
Mm-hmm.
If James Harden is who my bot guy Daniel thinks and says he is,
He's not.
he's going to get that MVP this year.
He's not that guy. Shout out to Daniel recovering right now from COVID.
My boy.
Get better soon.
Me and Daniel, we go back and forth over this James Harden.
You thought I was going to say KD, didn't you?
I did. James Harden is all right, but he ain't real. James Harden and Paul George are the same person in the playoffs. But
Wow.
Ralph, I'm just saying, Ralph, think about it like this. Break it down like a fraction. Both players during the playoffs, they play exceptionally well, right? They do put up good numbers in the playoffs. But when it comes to key moments, key games,
he was hurt, man. He was hurt, bro.
He got hurt 2 times in the playoffs this past season, and then that 1 year when they was playing the Golden State Warriors. That was it. Every other year that he's been in the playoffs,
that's fair. But this last year, he was out there on one leg. Y'all can't down him for this last year. He was on one leg, man.
I will exclude him for this past season. I'll give him a pass for this season. I ain't gonna hold that against him.
My guy got fuel this year. I think he's gonna get it.
Like the year they played Golden State, Game 7, and they shot, what was it, like 0 for 36 from the 3-point line. James Harden cannot be a part of that. You cannot be a part of the reason why we lose. Like, you have to be a part of the reason why we're trying to win. You can't contribute to this 0 for 36 shooting from 3-point line that we have out here. And then, Daniel, I hope you watch it because all this is for you, boy. And then that one year, they played the San Antonio Spurs, and I think he had 9 turnovers, which was a Houston Rockets team record for the playoffs. You can't have that in the game clinching. Like, James Harden, he ain't that guy. And James, y'all can tag James Harden, tell him I said it too. But anyways, B Legend, who's your NBA MVP?
You know, I sat down and I did some as I was researching this today. Looking at my numbers. I kind of had 4 or 5.
Look at them.
So my first guy I had that I thought about was Ben Simmons. Ain't gonna be Ben. Maybe he come back and try to get revenge, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then I said maybe Kawhi. Nah, I ain't gonna do no Kawhi.
You just poking the bear right now.
Yeah, no Kawhi.
I know who he about to say. Go ahead.
And then I said, "Nah, man, we gotta keep.
He's got it on the screen.
We gotta keep it real. We gotta keep that thing real." I said, Paul George.
They better not ever get.
Where are you these names you just throwing out there? You know they'd even never go.
When you were thinking this, dog, what were you doing? Because I got to know.
Show the bottle you was drinking.
Him, Chris Jones, and Josh Gordon was all sitting together having a conversation.
He was sipping.
But in straight basketball, here's the deal. It could be my guy Russ from Westbrook. No,
I don't believe it.
Nah, I don't believe it.
It
won't be anybody from LA.
Thank you.
The reality, because it's just too much to spread in LA. Even though LA, they cute, they'd be fine. But it's gonna be KD. I mean,
my boy.
It's gonna be KD. I mean, that dude's just a walking bucket, man. That dude is gonna
hey, I knew I liked you for
it's gonna be KD.
No,
hold on. Now understand what I'm saying. That don't mean he's the best player in the league.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. There's a
difference.
Okay.
You asked a specific question. Who's the MVP? And we all had this discussion. MVP, best player in the league, is 2 different things.
2 different things.
Right? All right. So, because if I was to pick any other person that could potentially be, which I don't think it could happen, But there's two other people I could potentially be, and I ain't even thinking about Giannis. I'm not giving it to him. I just not gonna do it. I would think it could be James Harden, or it could be AD, depending on what AD do.
That's a nice pick.
I like the AD.
He can stay healthy.
It depends on if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy, what he does, if he puts up them type of numbers, and if the Lakers be competitive. Otherwise, it's KD. I mean, that dude, as long as he's healthy, come on, man. That dude's going.
So who's the best player in the NBA, legend?
Oh man.
Yeah, keep your mouth closed, Q. He did not ask.
I already know what you're gonna say up there. You stay quiet.
The best player in the league. Oof. Man,
Don't make me get up and walk away.
Sit in your chair. Sit in your chair.
That's
okay.
Tough, man. That's tough, man.
You're thinking about it too hard.
I am. That's a real tough thing.
It's not that hard. It's not that
hard.
It's not.
It's not that hard. Tell him, Ralph. It's not that hard.
2 + 2 equals 4 every time. Every time.
I mean, 2 + 3 equals 5.
Tell them who the best in the league. Tell them about the gun line, boss.
4 + 2 equals 6.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
4 + 3 equals 7.
Well, MJ don't play no more.
Yeah.
So
and 1 + 2 equals 3.
Bring up MJ. Why the hell we got?
He said 6. I just thought 6 rings when he said 6. I'm sorry, I got happy.
No,
No,
I'm
you know
saying,
what
4 + 2 equals 6.
That's boy's new number.
All right.
I'm not even.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
I don't pay attention to that fool.
2 +
Is it my turn yet?
2 + 3 equals 5. 0 + 23 equals 23.
So who's the best player in the
That's
NBA,
what I was about to
man?
say. Obviously, he did well in math. That's what he's trying to tell us right now.
He told you.
The smoke show.
Man.
He said number 6.
So, am I answering this with facts, or am I answering from the heart?
Just answer,
Answer
man.
from the facts, man.
From the facts?
Just
facts.
answer. Goodness gracious.
You're gonna make me knock all this shit out.
I know, man. It's just hard for me, man. It's hard. But the facts are, at this moment, as we speak today, at 6:51 p.m., which I do not think will be the same at the end of the year. Right now, as we speak, it will be Kevin Durant.
Thank you.
Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna go on and keep the party going. Let's go.
That concludes tonight's show of Beyond the Game. Damn an announcement. We done with this. We done with tonight's show.
I salute you, my brother.
I
salute you, my brother.
My heart is different. My heart is different. My heart is gonna go with purple and gold, be LBJ, or it's gonna be
let it go, Q.
Or it's gonna be AD.
He said the facts, though. He said the facts.
Let it go,
Q. I preface my statement by telling you right now, with the new offense they putting in, they're gonna look raggedy. But by the end of the year, that guy over there, and that purple gold gonna have that thing rolling real good.
We wishful thinking.
You got Mr. Turnover. You better worry about him.
Now, I'm not, dude. Listen, that guy over there that's controlling that ship over there is gonna get my guy Westbrook. Hey man, everything.
Hey, if that quote was real, that's hilarious.
Breaks, guys.
Be legend. Why'd you hurt Q's feelings for? Look at him.
Q's
put the hat
look
down.
at him. Look at him. I've been looking down ever since you said it.
He got him all hyped up with that.
Look up.
3
Q's looking at stats. He's looking at facts.
He ain't got no stats.
Oh, look at he is.
See, B know me.
He's looking at stats.
See, B know exactly what I'm doing.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just trying to say. It depends on how we y'all just want to talk about this KD. I mean, all I'm saying.
That's my dog.
Pump.
That's my dog.
Right now, as we speak, that's the way that it is.
He said we want to say it. Andrew, if I'm not mistaken, he just said that KD was the best player. It ain't we. It's you too.
Oh, I said it.
Join us.
No. At this moment, it is what it is. But I believe that it will change.
We can forget that part.
Ralph, but go ahead, man. Give me your NBA MVP before y'all piss me off today.
Okay. Honestly, I was up in the air. There was 2 people I was thinking about, and it's funny that my 2 castmates have said the same thing. Drew said Harden, and Legend said KD. I was kind of going more towards Harden, but honestly, I do think that KD will be the MVP of the league this year. I think that KD is on a mission. He knows that times are ticking, and I think that KD needs to get one more without the team that he won the championship with. And I think that KD will lead this team to a championship. some way, somehow, Kyrie will get this shot and he'll play for the Brooklyn Nets this year in the crucial games where he's needed. So I'm going to go with KD, which is the best player in the league right now, Q. I don't care what you say. I don't care what numbers you're going to show. We don't care. It's 3-1 and you lose. It's KD.
I've been jumped before. I don't care. They don't take me never mind. I'm about sick of y'all, though. Oh, my goodness. I am. I'm about sick of y'all.
Q, it's on you. Who's the best player in the league, Q?
Oh, that's LeBron, Ramon James. I mean,
that is Ramon.
I mean, I'm sorry. Uncle Tay. LeBron Goat James. I'm sorry. Let me excuse myself. He's still the best player in the league right now. I just do not, and I do not mean to go off on this tangent, but I'm about sick and tired. Not you, B. Not you. These two over here, I'm about talking, and mainly that guy down there, Drew, who gets this shit started on the Beyond the Game group at least once a week. I'm sick and tired of people telling me KD is better when nobody can tell me what KD does better than LeBron James without mentioning the word shoot. Tell me.
Is that all you got?
I'm waiting for you to answer.
That's our opinion. KD's a better player. You just got to take it.
Tell me what he does better than LeBron without saying shoot.
Well, here's my response to that statement.
Everything but pass.
When we talk about what this game is built on, and we talk about how they're going to judge MVPs, that's what's going to be based on scoring. They ain't going to do it based on passing and this and all.
Q knows this,
and that's why when we talk about MVP, that's why you got to go for somebody like, because it's all going to be if you lead the league in scoring. That's what it's going to be. It ain't going to matter about. He
ain't leading the league in scoring. He got a ball hog on his team, James Harden. He ain't leading the league.
Russell Westbrook's the best player on the Lakers. That's LeBron.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Ralph. You done went too far. Now, Russell Westbrook is not the best player on the Lakers. Now, let's stop with the
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Now, come on, man. Now, that's my guy. He is the Lakers MVP.
I like Russ. I hate that he's a Laker, but I like Russ.
Yeah, we all do.
He's still gonna lead the league in turnovers.
No, you don't like Russ, Ralph.
Yes, I do. I don't.
You want him to come on the team and cause havoc. That's what you want.
Right. Y'all get upset because I post one thing, and all I did was post facts. I didn't say Russ was a bad player.
Hey, Ralph, I told you can't post preseason stats.
Like, Russ has always been one of my favorite players in the league, bro. Like, I don't got nothing against Russ.
So let me ask you a question.
He's the best player in the Lakers.
Great basketball question, Ralph. So understand. Let's go back to basics, right? So let's go back when LeBron went to Miami. Everybody said that wasn't going to work. They won 2 titles, went to 3 finals. Okay? So what makes you think that LeBron and AD and all that veteran leadership that's sitting on that team, what makes you think that they can't get that thing worked out and they, control this wildfire that you say is Russell Westbrook?
Hold on.
I didn't say it was a wildfire. You are acting like the media right now, B-Lex. You are putting words on them. I never said a wildfire.
Well, I mean, you're right. You didn't say it, but you implied it. You implied that he's a train wreck, and because of him, that the Lakers would not win the title. Is that not true?
That's not true, sir. All I did was post one thing.
No, I'm not talking about your post. I'm talking about before. Did you and our colleague Daniel, didn't you two guys sit there and say that the Lakers would not win the title because of Russell Westbrook? Didn't they say that, Q?
I don't think I said that. I know Daniel probably said that, but I don't think I said that.
Okay.
He said. So let's go on to the last topic real quick. The last subtopic of this, because I'm not gonna let y'all upset me.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP, I got Luka finally getting that MVP this season.
That's nice. I like that.
I feel like the Dallas Mavericks make that move up to at least the 4th spot, which would be good enough for him to get the MVP this season. So that's who I got.
They didn't have enough pieces, man.
But anyways, NBA Finals matchup. I think everybody pretty much consistently got this NBA Finals matchup. For me, it's Lakers Bucks. Ralph, who you got?
Bro, Q, you a bad boy, bro.
We made you do that, Ralph. We made you do
that. But honestly, but you know what's funny? I'm in 100% agreement with Q if Kyrie can't finish the season.
See what I'm saying?
If Kyrie cannot be a piece for the Nets, I do not think that James Harden and Kevin Durant can lead the Nets to the championship
Kyrie,
without
don't do
Kyrie.
me like this, bro.
So I will say the Nets and the Lakers if Kyrie is there. Without Kyrie, I do agree with Q, and I hate to do it, but it will be the Lakers and the Bucks.
See, you should listen to me from time to time, Ralph. Drew, who you got NBA Finals matchup? Go ahead.
Nets Clippers.
See,
Kyrie, don't do this to me, bro. But look, honestly, if Kyrie doesn't show up, I still think in the East at least, a healthy Harden and a healthy Durant is enough to get through anything they can throw at
That's
him.
asking a lot.
but yeah, I mean, would they be healthy? But B, who you got in the NBA Finals?
Again, I question the whole. I think we all on the same, feel when we talk about the Nets. Kyrie. I think Kyrie's got to be there, but I think that the Nets still got enough, even if he's not. However, I'm going to say because if he's not there, he's going to cause so much distraction that it could potentially, not because of talent, because everything that goes around it and the cohesiveness of the team, that they will have to make a decision. And I just think it's going to cause chaos if he's not there. So I think it was going to be the Lakers and the Heat if the Nets don't make it. I think the Heat's got something for the Bucks.
Let's see, Joe. Who said Miami wasn't going to work out? Did anybody? This is a
That's what who said LeBron to Miami wasn't going to work?
Oh, a lot of people said it wasn't going to work when he first went there.
All I heard was
not
one, not two, not three.
Well, I just thought that was ludicrous. That was just, they were just fired up, but they just said it. Think about that first year they went there, like I've argued for years.
You talking about after that loss to Dallas?
Yeah, they lost to Dallas in that
after
first
that
year.
loss to Dallas. Yeah, I'm sure people probably said that because
they said it. No, they said it before. They said it before they even started playing. They said that. But
Skip Bayless?
For sure, he was one of them.
The only way LeBron can win a ring is if he plays with Jordan.
Yeah.
That's the only way he thinks.
Everything LeBron does, Skip Bayless hates.
So my only reason I brought that up was just because of the fact that on that team, they all had to make sacrifices. When they first came there, LeBron took a back seat, let Dwayne Wade do it, and it didn't work. And they just had to figure it out. And I just think that's what's going to have to happen with the Lakers. They're going to have to figure it out. If not, maybe they trade Russ for, Dan Lillard. So.
Chris Jones said they was going to trade him 10 games into the season.
I think they're going to be perfectly fine.
They're going to be
they
fine.
did only because they felt like I don't know if y'all remember, but I'm pretty sure B does. When it happened, they were saying how the fit didn't work because LeBron and Dwayne Wade both needed the ball in their hands.
Correct.
They really never played off the ball at that point in their careers. So so on paper, obviously, it looked dope. But people just didn't think in a game it was going to fit because of their styles of play were pretty much almost identical. And at that point in time, the three ball really wasn't involved in the NBA like it is now.
Right.
That's why they didn't think it was going to work.
So what's the difference?
They didn't have any shooters.
What's the difference between that? What's the difference between that and the Lakers with him and Russ? What's the difference? They both need the ball in their hands, right?
The difference now between is that in today's game, there's so much more spacing than it was in 2010 to 2014. Now the emphasis is on outside in versus at that point it was still inside out. And I guess you can say they kind of like was ahead of that time with putting like Chris Bosh at the 5, LeBron at the 4, playing small ball to really win it all type of thing. Mm-hmm. So that kind of really ushered in that whole thing because you got to remember before that, it was the Boston Celtics with Kendrick Perkins, KG being big, and then the Lakers, Andrew Bynum and Gasol down low. So everybody at that point still thought you had to have a big man to win it all, but the Lakers, the Miami Heat kind of switched that up a little bit and did the whole small ball thing. So
and people started copying them.
Yep. So to me personally, I said this, and Drew, you can go, dig it up because I know you and Reginald, y'all good at finding previous posts. But I said I don't think it'll fit, but I hope I'm wrong. I don't think it'll fit, but I hope I'm wrong.
I remember. I got you on that one.
With the whole Lakers thing. But anyways, continuing on, we have week 5 in the NFL. So week 6. I'm sorry, week 6 in the NFL. So Ralph, Give us our key matchups for Week 6 in the NFL real quick one time for the one time.
Real quick, one time for the one time. So let's go with the Chargers and Ravens. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chargers in that game. Right now, if you ask me, Justin Herbert is the MVP of the league. The Chargers are 4-1 right now, and I think the Ravens will be 4-1 tonight after they went over the Colts. But I am going with the Chargers in that game. You got the Cardinals and the Browns. The Cardinals are a really good team. I like them both offensively and defensively. The Browns also are a really good team. They are 3-2 right now, but they did take a tough loss to the Chargers this past Sunday, and they took a loss to the Chiefs that they shouldn't have taken earlier in the season. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chargers in that game. You got the Bills and the Titans. I still think the Titans are our top AFC team, but I think the Bills are one of the most dominant teams we have in the NFL right now. So I'm going to go with the Bills. But I got two upsets for y'all. We got the Packers versus the Bears. I'm going with Justin Fields and the Bears against the Packers. I think that Justin Fields will find a way to lead the Bears over the Packers. And finally, Thursday Night Football. I got the Eagles over the Buccaneers. I said it here first. I'm done.
He did that on purpose. He did that on purpose. But I'm going to get into this big announcement that I had for the show. But before I do that real quick, let's run through the Monday Night Football matchup. We got Colts versus the Ravens. I think pretty much everybody got the Ravens in this matchup. Is that cool to say? Everybody got the Ravens tonight?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And then we got
better than Josh Allen.
And then we got Thursday night matchup. We got, like he just alluded to, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. I ain't got to go on this topic because y'all already know you already know my vibe is on this. I already know what Ralph is thinking. Drew, I already know what you thinking.
Fly, Eagles fly.
So B, it's up to you, B. Who you got in the Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Bucks?
Really?
Jalen Hurts.
I mean, first of all, Philly cost me. It cost me because they beat Carolina. It wasn't supposed to. Oh my God, that wasn't even supposed to happen. This is a travesty. And you think you slick, Ralph? You think you slick? You think say that about my son? Don't you? I'm gonna hit you.
I mean it too.
You know, I don't know why you think something that's crazy. But anyway, everybody knows what's gonna happen, man. Tampa Bay gonna smack them boys up and down the field. They're gonna go into Philly. They're gonna go into what's the stadium? What's the stadium?
Lincoln Financial.
Yeah, the Link. And they're gonna go in there just drag them all up and down the field and just Lord have mercy. I don't even, you know what? I don't even understand why they even put some of these games on Thursday night. They know everybody watching the game on Thursday night, Monday night. Thursday night.
And then they put the Jets on
these garbage games on there. Golly,
it's a more interesting game than the last one.
I mean, you're 100% correct. Neither one of them two, both of them teams is trash. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, but you going up against Tom Brady and that defense.
Hey, beat Tom Brady before. I'll be real.
Well, let's put something on it.
I don't see it, but like I told Daniel this morning,
the Bears game.
There is
we
two gentlemen.
There ain't no question what's gonna happen down there. You know, they probably gonna light them up.
I like Justin.
Like I said to Daniel today,
he's playing the man.
Shit. Drew, go ahead.
I can't vibe with you on that Bears pick, man. I just don't trust the Bears. But like I told Daniel this morning, shout out to my boy Mello. Been able to talk to him a little bit. He's recovering real well. Can't wait to see you on the show soon, bro. But like I told him this morning, there is two huge Tampa Bay Buck fans that have been on my case about my team since the preseason. And Lord have mercy, don't let us shock the world Thursday because y'all gonna kick me out, BTG.
Oh yeah, I know they are.
I'll be right there with you.
Hey, Andrew, remember I'm on your side.
I'll be right there with you. I'll be posting right with you. Tampa who?
Tampa who?
We ain't got to worry about that.
Nah, this week is Trump Bay. This week is Trump Bay.
We not worried about that, man. It's small things to a giant, man. Small things to a giant. You know, as my uncle Shay would say, we got to throw a party on the Eagles. Man, did you just see what we did to the Miami Dolphins?
The Dolphins are trash, bro.
What do you think the Eagles are? What do you think the Eagles are?
Are a decent team, man. I like the Eagles.
For who? A college team? Yeah, they would be top 10 in college.
I mean, Miami, they was they was down there, down there.
It's Miami.
Yeah,
Miami. Hey, look, there's a KOD.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Miami. It's Miami. But anyways, man, let me get into this big announcement so we get on up out of here for this evening. So what I want to talk about is something huge for Beyond the Game that's about to happen. I would say within the next week or so. So I've been talking to LM Communications. Actually, they reached out to me about bringing Beyond the Game back on the radio. Now, I know Ralph and B Legend, I know y'all like, well, we've been on the radio before, you know what I'm saying? But this is a little bit different how they want us to be on the radio this time. It's gonna be either, hold on, but B, I got some more news from the stuff I dropped to you. It's two options that we got out here, baby. So LM Communications wants to bring Beyond the Game to either ESPN Lexington Radio or Fox Sports News here in Lexington.
Yes, sir.
We just working on the particulars. So it's either going to be on ESPN Radio Lex or we're going to be on Fox Sports in Lexington. So it's going to be either. So you can tune in. I think the time and date are still to be determined. We're still working that part out. But we'll be on there either with the likes of Colin Cowherd. You can listen to them. And then after that, you can listen to Beyond the Game. Or we'll be on ESPN Radio. And you can listen to the first take. And then right after that show, you can be listening Beyond the Game. So that's the big announcement. Like I said, the date and the times are to be determined. But once we get that, T's crossed, I's dotted, then I'll put that information out there. And then as far as B and Ralph, I'll get with y'all in the group chat, man, and let y'all know all the particulars and things of that nature. I'll send y'all screenshots, pictures of the studio that they getting together for us. They're gonna paint it and everything and whatnot. So
cute.
So yeah.
Won't he do it?
Can I come?
So, hey man, you can come on. You can come on to the studio, man. Hold on, let me get this. Adam Kent, he said, "Can I get a private?" Yeah, hey, look, it'll be just like it was for the people who are just tuning in right now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I can't wait till Georgia beats their ass this weekend. So he will shut up.
You know what? Now wait a minute. When Q finished, I wanted to see if we could take a minute or two to talk about that UK game. But go ahead, Q.
Yeah,
I love you, Adam.
So it'll be just like before. If people are just now following Beyond the Game, we were once on the radio beforehand, but it will be just like that. You can call in, talk to us, converse with us. The great thing about this opportunity is that it'll get us into a lot of these functions, a lot of these sporting events and things of that nature. We talked about, I can't go into depth, but they want us to go remote in some locations and do shows at restaurants and things of that nature. So we're working out all the particulars as far as that's concerned. But like I said, we will either be on ESPN Radio Lex or we'll be on Fox Sports in Lexington as well.
That's dope.
But that's the big announcement I had for us. A little rather that, a little couple things cooking up in the back.
Hey, y'all. Q is the man. I don't care what nobody said. Q is the man. I don't care what nobody said.
Hey, man, nah, man. I'm just and before we talk about the UK thing, like B wanted to talk to, this is why I feel like it's so big for us, is because is that for one, Lexington doesn't have its own anything putting out anything, period. And now we have this space that we can go to where the reach is broader. So now you can talk to some of these high school coaches, bring them in here, see what they got going on and things. So my plan for this is not just for us, but for the city of Lexington,
everybody, man,
to get them a bigger platform to get whatever they got going on out there as well. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Let me get some of these. My brother Mark Little, congratulations to you, Beyond the Game. Appreciate that. Adam Kent, my guy. Brittany Gordon, give me a hand class. Appreciate that. Deshaun said, congrats. Appreciate that. Adam Kent, he said, super dope, man. I appreciate it also. And also, man, before I let B cook on this, it's also going to be a show where we can have, people like Drew come in and, what I'm saying? It's not going to be just relegated to the quote unquote Beyond the Game guys. Like, we're going to be pulling people from the group to come in, kick it with us, talk sports with us, whatever the case may be.
That's
also,
all
what I
love.
want to do
all love.
B was on the show when I was doing this. I was having local artists send me music so I could play their music on the radio, because a lot of these local artists don't get their tune, and it's got to be dope. Don't just be sending me no bullish, but it's got to be dope, because I was having them send me music so I can play it on the radio, because for some of these local artists, they don't get no radio play.
Yes, sir.
I was having them, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get back to doing that as well, man. So that's my news for us. Sorry for ranting on. As Ike says, plus we are all here. Check out Spoken Minds this Thursday at 6 p.m. So make sure you check out that show.
Facts.
The floor is yours to talk about UK and Georgia. Go ahead.
Don't be disrespectful.
No. I'm not gonna be disrespectful at all. Not at all. You know, I just think it's really interesting. Now, what I do want to say is this: I need y'all to pump the brakes. Okay, pump the brakes, UK fans. Big game for you guys. They got you guys as an underdog by 22 points. I do not think that you all are going to lose the game by 22 points.
That's crazy.
Betting this game, bet the house on that because I don't see that happening. You know, now Georgia put that thumping on Auburn. They put a thumping on some other people because they're really, really good defensively. But I give you guys credit. You guys have come a long way. Got a great offense. Got a good defense. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game. This is all I'm saying. Please stop with the national title aspiration. We've got to stop.
Why?
We've got to stop. Come on, guys. You wait a minute. You think you're gonna beat St. Nick?
It ain't me, but I think they have a chance.
They ain't got no chance.
Be on fire today.
You didn't pick Texas A&M to beat Alabama either.
No, and you know what? I took them with the spread because you going down there to Texas and playing in that.
It's a different environment.
Remember now, Alabama lost to Johnny.
They sure did.
To Johnny Manziel at Texas.
Sure did.
That's a tough environment to play.
Mike Evans too was on that team.
Yeah, and Nick Saban said it. He called it out. You know, before the game last week, he said, "Man, that's going to be a tough game for us." He knew it. So it's not surprising, but did I think that they would lose? Absolutely. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that. No. But what I am saying is Kentucky going to put up a good game. I don't think it's going to be the way people perceive it, 22, beating them by no 3 touchdowns. That's not going to happen. Right. I'm just saying, guys, come on. Let's just.
Q asked the question at the beginning of the show. What percent chance do you give UK to win the game?
Answer that question real quick before we get ahead. What percentage on a scale of 1 to 100, what percentage would you give UK to pull off the upset against Georgia?
I said 50, by the way.
He said 50. Drew said 25%. I said 10%.
I'll say about 45%.
See, I like that. I like that, man. Optimism.
And it's gonna be predicated on one thing. Or 2 things. Number one, they got to be able to run the ball. If they don't run the ball,
yeah.
And the number 2 most important thing, turnovers. Don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
If they can run the ball and they don't turn the ball over, they got a good chance.
I like that. Y'all's being disrespectful, Andrew.
I am.
Q.
I don't care. Y'all
piss me off. Dallas and UK are both good. It is a tough time in my life right now. All right?
I know it is.
No, Drew. See, you giving Dallas too much credit. They ain't good. They ain't played nobody.
A top 5 quarterback, like I've been saying, Dakota, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
Okay,
we ain't gonna talk about that.
You know what? Dakota's doing well. I give you that.
Doing very well.
But here's the facts.
Very well.
They played 1 team.
2. You don't think Chargers any good?
And the Bucks.
That's the only one. I don't count the Bucks because you know they're gonna lose to the Bucks.
Okay.
So yes, 2 teams. They played 2 teams. That's it.
They only played 5 games.
But that's all I'm saying. They've only played 5 games, and everybody's putting these guys out here like they're the best thing.
All I know is my guys outperforming your son. That's all I know.
They ain't played nobody. They only played those 2. The NFC East is weak. Do you agree, Q, or not?
Yeah, I agree. It is.
Do you agree, Ralph? Is it weak? Are they weak or not?
Not at all. The Philadelphia Eagles are a good team. The Dallas Cowboys are a good team. Washington Redskins are a decent team.
Don't fall for it, B. Don't fall for it, B.
We're not good yet. We learned to fly.
The NFC probably is the weakest. The NFC East is probably the weakest division in the NFL right now.
I'm just talking about the top 5 quarterback. All I know is Dakota's the top 5. That's all I know.
I'm just keeping it real.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
I don't know. I would say the AFC South is probably the
I was gonna say
AFC you got the Texans, you got the Jags, you got the Colts. All 3 of them are
You're right.
I would say the AFC South.
You're right.
And the AFC North is kind of trash too. Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
The Dolphins in the South
and the Bills.
No,
the only reason the
Dolphins
AFC is any count there is because of the Bills. As much as I don't like Josh Allen.
All I'm saying is don't give him that. Don't give him all that.
Oh,
respect,
the East.
Andrew.
I said North. This the
Dude,
AFC
don't give them all
East,
that
my bad.
respect. They're a good team. I like them. They got a good defense. They fly around. They hit everybody. Dak's playing phenomenal. I give them all that. But they ain't played nobody but two teams. And they should have lost.
They getting ready to, man. They're in the
They
easiest
should've
part of
lost
their
to
schedule right
Chargers.
now. We'll find out if they're for real.
They should have, would have,
They
could have
should have
lost.
lost to Chargers. But guess what? They're gonna see. They're gonna see my son.
Who? The Cowboys.
Oh yeah, they're gonna see.
Yeah,
my
that's
son.
easy money. That
Yeah.
defense is
So you
trash.
should- yeah, you make
Dakota's
sure
about to
you
eat them up.
That's going to be like a 48-45 game.
48. Yeah, they're gonna run it up.
Patty Mayonnaise ain't putting up that many points. Get out of here.
Man, look.
Hey, look, man.
If I had that button, I'd mute Ralph so quick.
Hey, look, man. The Cowboys' schedule is actually, man. I feel like it's kind of favorable. They play the Patriots.
It is.
Patriots are trash. The Vikings, Broncos, trash.
Look at the end of it.
They gonna lose to the
trash.
Broncos.
Chiefs,
They gonna
okay.
lose to the who?
Broncos.
So that concludes tonight's show. Everybody, we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. But man, we do appreciate
Broncos
everybody.
may not win another game.
But anyways, we get ready to get on up out of here. Everybody who has supported Beyond the Game over the years to help us get to the spot that we at right now.
He said the Broncos are gonna win the.
I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to neither
Talk
one
to
of
him,
y'all right
Ralph.
now. We appreciate everybody for
We're
tuning in.
struggling right now.
You can always go check out the show. I'm at the mute. You can always go check out the show on all major podcast streaming platforms. If you missed tonight's show, you can always catch it on YouTube. I'll play it back on Facebook Live as well. We get ready to get on up at this thing. And while B Legends laughing, we want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. And we up at this thing, man.
Go
Peace.
Birds.
Peace, man.